believe that Ana Garcia died of a traumatic brain injury. A day before Garcia died, she and Sam Green had an accident at soccer practice. They ran into each other, and Ana Garcia left with a big bruise on her head. This is what caused her to have traumatic brain injury.
On Garcia's social media, she reported that she had endless migraines and took aspirin. Traumatic brain injuries are shown to cause persistent headaches and get worse and do not go away. Approximately 24 hours later, Ana Garcia was pronounced dead, and Tara Diaz found her at 10 a.m.
Head wound inspection. The bruise that Ana got at soccer practice was an open wound that measures 1 inch across, 0.5 inches wide, and 1/4 inches deep, therefore showing there may be damage to the brain. A wound like this might have damaged the frontal lobe. The frontal lobe is the front part of the brain that lies right underneath the forehead. Damage to this lobe could cause difficulty concentrating or planning, and impulsivity, loss of movement, trouble with speech, and mood swings. When her brain was compared to a similar TBI brain, we saw that it had many similarities, including a mix of darkish spots, small tears everywhere, and small dark dots. Small tears indicate bruising and tearing of the brain, leading us to conclude that she has traumatic brain injury. TBI is also caused by a violent blow or jolt to the head or body, which is what happened to her.
Ana Garcia took 20 millimeters per liter of aspirin. 150 to 300 millimeters per liter is considered to be the normal amount to take. We believe she only took a small amount because when she took aspirin, she started to bleed from her head. Aspirin causes blood to thin, therefore preventing blood clots in the body. The bad thing about this is that it causes one to bleed and bruise more easily. Because her wound was an open wound, it must have started bleeding more, causing her to stop taking aspirin.
There was also blood at the end of the table next to where she died. This blood print is the shape of a handprint smear. With this information, we can assume that she was bleeding somewhere, most likely from her head wound. So she covered it with her hand, thus getting blood on her hand, and when she fell, she grabbed hold of the table with her bloody hand and slipped and died.
What does TBI do to your body and how can it kill you? Traumatic brain injury causes damage to the brain cells and causes bleeding in the brain. TBI causes increased intracranial pressure. This causes the brain to swell, preventing blood and oxygen to flow to the brain. When the brain has no oxygen, then death can occur in about 4 to 6 minutes.
Conclusion. Ana's death was accidental. What caused Ana Garcia's death was a buildup of what happened to her before her death. A day before her death, she was playing soccer with Sam Green, who accidentally bumped into her, giving her traumatic brain injury. She was able to get through the rest of the day, but when she went to the chem lab the next morning, Ana began to have severe migraines and would take aspirin to help deal with it. Once figuring out that aspirin only made her wound worse, she stopped immediately. Holding her hand to her head to stop the bleeding, she began to stand up to get a tissue. She suddenly fell and tried to stabilize herself with her bleeding hand using the table. Then she suddenly collapsed